the return of the Chief Administrative Secretary. I remember there is a bill right now in Parliament that should it see the light of the day, then it will give President, powers to actually appoint CAS without any limit whatsoever. It will be whoever he wish. The number could be 100, 5, maybe 20, depending on the interest of the president. Well, this particular position was quashed by High Court again because it was illegal. It was termed as illegal. It lacked public participation. Among the reasons that High Court actually, suspended this particular one. So they've gone back to the drawing board again. Now they have reintroduced some changes and they want to actually, amend it into the law. So should the bill see the light of the day, it will become a law and president will have the powers to actually appoint this CAS position. So is this even a discussion that we should be having at this particular time, Isaac?
I don't think it's a discussion we should be having. But again, remember I told you that in Kenya we are always campaigning for the next election. So at the moment, what we had in the NADCO report is there was nothing constructive about the normal Kenyan mwananchi. Of course, it was a debate among the big boys on who should join the government, who should not, who should take what position, who should replace who. So for the president to make sure that everybody feels included in the government, including the opposition, as it were in the previous government, there must be something that has to be done to the law. Remember, the CAS positions were squashed, and therefore, when the opposition joins the government, again, they have to support the government through something. It could be a law, it could be a presidential act, it could be anything to make sure that when they are making a political move, nobody questions them. But it's not a debate that we should be having at the moment. We have enough problems to deal with as a country. Even though there are things we could be celebrating at the moment, like the recent muscles by the Kenyan shillings against the dollar. But there are better things, there are serious things that we should be discussing, not positions for the members of the opposition government in the government.
All right. Well, Njoroge, when you look at the previous regime, the number of CAS were about 22.
Yeah.
Well, this particular regime, they had surpassed that particular number by almost over double, to be precise. 50 CAS, then the High Court actually termed it as illegal. Now, the move to remove now the limit to which president can appoint CAS, do you read mischief in this? Is it some sort of, rewarding political loyalist friends, something like that? What do you read in all this?
Okay, this is the first term for the President William Ruto. And so he had allies and people who supported him during the last general elections. So he has to find a way to reward them because he will be needing these same people in the next general election and also in future. So he tried to reward 50 of them, but the court denied.
Is it about the next general election?
Yeah, of course it is. But the court denied him that space to reward his people. So he has been working hard behind the curtains to make sure that these people who are pressuring him, they still get somewhere in this, to get some positions in this government. Secondly, we are headed to, Kenya, there's only, after elections, we go to campaigning for the next elections. After elections, campaigning to the other election. So it would be scary, I would not be astonished when we find that the next list of the CASs, there are some of the people, some names which were in the last list that won't be in this one, because now they will be looking at regional politics. So this is a political issue. This is not even, it's not a matter of development or anything to do with mwananchi wa kawaida. It's about the rich kids, the big boys. It's about promotion of his supporters in the next elections.
Isaac, Njoroge talks about securing, the future in terms of election. Do you think maybe this is political arrangement rather in regard to the next general election?
First of all, I must acknowledge I'm very disappointed in him, because he's a youth leader for the party. I think he's the party that is led by the current chief cabinet minister or the prime minister, to say. When he says that these people, the president is struggling to ensure that the big boys are in government, what exactly are you telling the general public and the young people there who are looking up to you? What you are telling them is that now that the opposition is now joining the government, like it was in the BBI times, the young people who campaigned, you said it's a game of the big boys, and William Ruto, the president, is looking for spaces for the big boys, for the who's and who's. So what you are telling the young people is that there are no positions for them in government, there are no slots, and you see that one adds a bigger budget to the normal mwananchi again. If for instance that very funny law passes, the funny bill passes, and the president decides to appoint 150 cabinet secretaries and appoints 150 CAS and appoints 150 PS, what does that mean to the country's budget? It means that the Kenyan mwananchi is going to suffer more to facilitate the life of even one cabinet secretary. But for him, because he's a party leader of the ruling party, he says it's okay, it's political. That does not affect the Kenyan mwananchi. That is a game of the big boys. It's a bit disappointing.
I didn't say it doesn't. Okay, don't say what I didn't say. I didn't say it doesn't affect the mwananchi wa kawaida.
Do you feel disappointed?
Yeah?
Do you feel disappointed?
I don't, because that's the truth. And there's always a pinch in the truth. The truth is that this is a plan for the next election. Because
is this supposed to be about the next election?
Of course it is. Because if it's for the gain of Mama Mboga or Boda Boda people, in the last list, did you see any Mama Mboga or any normal mwananchi wa kawaida? No. The people who are in that list are maybe former senators, former governors, maybe secretary generals, people who already have names, and people who played a very big role in making sure that this government is in position. So when my friend here says that he's disappointed in me by speaking the truth, I think he should first be disappointed in himself for not accepting the truth.
But as a common citizen, the one that you wake up very early in the morning to contribute to the economy of the country, well, do you feel overburdened? Because this is another burden to already overstretched donkey, if I may use the phrase like that. Because addition to, for example, let's take 50 CAS. Well, when you look at the new proposed law, it means that the CAS will be ranked higher than the members of parliament. That's how it is. Then it will come like they will have security, personal aid, we have vehicles, house allowance, all this. This is a burden to common mwananchi. Well, the virtue that you don't feel disappointed, what does it say about our society, we as Kenyans?
To Kenyans, it's a burden that is added to the problems that we already have as Kenyans, because these positions will come with mortgages, salaries, vehicles, and other expenditures. So this burden will all be taken back to mwananchi wa kawaida. We as Kenyans, I don't think there's any Kenyan who is in agreement with this proposal. I don't think. This is a proposal of the president and his people, those who are already in positions. But for the mwananchi wa kawaida, the true voter, they are against this. And that's why Kenyans were very proud of the judiciary once it declared those positions unconstitutional, because it was adding another task to the tasks that we have as a nation. There are problems that should be first handled, because this is not a need. It's not a must for it to be there. This cabinet secretary, these CASs must not be there, because when you look at what is the functions of these CAS officers, these are duties that can maybe be filed to the office of the PSA, so that they can be reporting to the cabinet secretaries.
All right.
So these positions,
All right.
yeah.
Because we are running out of time, and actually we are out of time, to be
Okay.
precise. So I'll give you just 1 minute for your closing remark, and of course you can contribute or weigh into Njoroge's views in regard to these CAS positions, and what you think. Is it a priority? Should we abandon it, or what?
First of all, I'll wish to define maybe the Kenyan political scene as a game of hide and seek, where those who are hiding are not hiding themselves, but they are hiding stacks of money. And those who are seeking them, they are seeking them with audit reports and a lot of frustrations. And to some points, even when the seekers find those who are hiding, they find them with money too little to even justify that indeed the bigger monies were stolen.
Okay.
And about the issues of the roads, I want to urge the road users to first of all buckle up and pray. Where we are headed is like now a spiritual matter. Pray not just for yourself, fellow passengers, for driver, and even for the vehicle itself.
Okay.
Then lastly, let me just read a comment sent to me by a friend of mine, Wakili Mutoro.
Okay.
He says that the political innuendos for instance, in the South Rift, is a sign of lack of development, and the people are reacting to the lack of wheat as they are doing at the national government.
Okay.
For instance, in Bungoma, Wetangula is losing the scene,
Okay.
and there's a new guy coming up called Natembea.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your insight and thoughtful contribution to this state of the nation. Edwin Njoroge, ANC youth leader, asante sana for making time.
Thank you.
And Dr. Kweyu Isaac, social scientist and policy maker, asante sana for making time.